All right, everybody, my name is Shaon Shamsul. I am the head of Pinney Insurance, and I'm really excited to talk to you about the Life Insurance Referral Program. If you have a person that is a good fit for life insurance, refer them over to Pinney. We'll close them for you, and you will get comped. Now, before I talk about that, let's talk about what Pinney actually does. So we help people with life insurance, obviously, but we also help with retirement through annuities and IULs. We help with long-term care, we help with disability, and we help with tax-efficient financial growth. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I want to start out with the why. Do you ever want to see someone you love crowdfunding their funeral? The answer is no. This is an actual family that went to GoFundMe to raise almost $30,000. And although that might feel like a lot for us, it's actually not enough money if the breadwinner of a family passes away. Why do I say that? When people pass away, when the breadwinner specifically passes away, people lose their mortgages, their cars get repossessed, widows inherit their partner's debts, and children are not able to pay for college. So what death does is it creates poverty, especially in women. Amongst widows without life insurance, 39% struggle to meet basic needs within the first year. So this is a detrimental planning problem for not just your clients, but for yourself, for your mother, your father, your brother, your sister. Anybody who loves somebody else needs to have life insurance. And the number one objection I get about life insurance is that people have it through work. I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and they said that they had $10K in life insurance. That's not enough. That might be enough for funeral costs, but if you have a family, is your family still going to have to pay the mortgage? And what happens if they can't pay the mortgage, right? They have to downsize. You never, ever want that to happen to your family. Life insurance through work is not enough. And it's honestly too affordable not to buy. I'm in my 30s right now, and if I wanted $500K in coverage, I could probably get it for $30 to $40, right? Pretty simple. Life insurance companies will often let people get 20 times their annual income as a total death benefit. And the reason why they do that is because when you pass away, your family doesn't just lose 1 year worth of your income, they lose 20 to 30, depending on how long it takes for you to retire. So it's very important that you understand that you can get large lump sums, but also they're affordable, and that's totally normal. An actual InZone employee talked to me about this, and they said that their brother had life insurance through work, and that's it. They passed away, and it was enough for funeral costs, but again, was not enough for mortgage, was not enough for college. And now the rest of the family is scrambling to pay attention to how they can pay for these things. It's really, really tough. And so we owe it to ourselves to have these brave conversations with the people that we talk to, especially our clients. Now, if you talk to your clients, how does the InZone employee, you, benefit? Number one, there's a lot more retention for PNC agents that have life insurance with their clients, right? But number 2 and 3 is that there are a ton of competitors in the life insurance space that are aggressive in getting clients. If you've been on LinkedIn, if you're over 20 years old, you know life insurance guys have reached out to you and they have tried to sell you life insurance. You don't want them to do that to your client and then refer them over to another PNC company. You want everything in-house so your clients stay loyal. That's why we have Swipe or Don't Swipe on this page. Now, as far as referring directly to Pinney, there's 2 main reasons I would say. 1, we are experts in selling life insurance. We have a high close ratio. So if you bring the deals over to us and we sell it, they're going to be more likely to sell. We have a drip automation campaign to continue selling to people even if they don't buy the first time. It's going to be better for you guys to send it over to us and have no sale rather than do it yourself. But if you can do it yourself and you're good at it, go for it. We will help you with case management, underwriting support, case design support for higher level cases. The second reason, though, that people should send us these referrals is because we close bigger policies. We close way bigger policies. I'm going to talk about that on the next slide. On this slide, I want you to do this QR code because there is the methodology of referring life insurance leads in Epic through the LIFR code. Right here, it's all the instructions, so just download it real quick. But to talk a little bit more about the bigger policies, we don't just sell term insurance. We sell a lot more than that. Right now, we're specializing in index universal life policies, which are much bigger in premium. The average term policy is worth about $1,200. With IULs, it's $7,000 to $30,000. So imagine getting cut on $30,000 on a premium instead of $1,200 is a big difference. If you want to know more about the policies that we work with and what exactly they're used for, such as tax planning or retirement, please download this, okay? With the IUL specifically, what's really cool is that your premiums get held in a bank account, right? Life insurance term life insurance specifically is kind of like renting. Let's say you get a 20-year term. You pay into your policy for 20 years. At the end of the 20 years, you have to get a new policy. Your money went straight to the insurance company profits, right? Unless you pass away. With permanent insurance through Index Universal Life, all of your money is in a bank account, right? And that money sits in that account and it grows 4 to 10% every year, year over year, and compounds. And by the way, when the market is bad, you still don't lose money. The insurance company guarantees that your principal sum remains the same. So if you compare it to something similar like a 401k, if you're in a bad market, your 401k is going to lose a ton of money. That does not happen with life insurance, specifically IUL. So it's really cool. And you can access the money without paying taxes. Why is that big? Okay, well, if you try to take money out early of an IRA or 401k, you get hit with a 10% penalty. You get hit on capital gains, and you also get hit on ordinary income. You can strategize with the life insurance policy to not do any of those things if you know what you're doing. So talk to one of our specialists. If you want to learn more about this, here's another QR code. I'm going to kill you with the QR codes today, but enjoy. In any case, we got to talk about the best people to suggest life insurance to versus the worst people. So the top 5 best demographics are married people with children, homeowners, okay? High earners, so people who make over 150K, professional services. Business owners are big. Going to talk about that on the commercial line section a little bit. And a system where there's a breadwinner and a non-working spouse. Worst people are over here. If they always say that if you love somebody, you should buy life insurance because you want to take care of them financially. But if you're under 25 and don't have kids, you could get life insurance. I suggest getting it. It's just harder to get a sale out of those people, right? The personal triggers for life insurance are on the right here. If you scan this QR code, it will tell you exactly what to say to a prospect in any scenario. But whenever you're talking to your prospects, I want you to really build rapport with them. And anytime they talk about any of these things, that's when you should be bringing up, hey, let's get you in front of a life insurance specialist. So marriage is an obvious example. Mortgage is an obvious example. Mortgages are 400K, right? What happens when you die from natural causes? That mortgage gets passed to your spouse. If your spouse can't pay it, they lose the house, right? So when you're talking to people, you got to be like, hey, if you have a mortgage, you need life insurance. Can I help you get a free quote, right? Easy as that. You got to build the need first, then ask for what you want. Towards the bottom, there's also room for investments, right? Life insurance is not an investment. It is a financial asset where you can grow that year over year. So if they are putting money with the intention to grow it somewhere, then they might want to consider life insurance, right? What do you say to those people? If they have a baby, an example of congratulations. What research have you done on life insurance? New home. Have you protected the mortgage yet? Do you know what would happen if you passed away? Marriage. Have you thought about what would happen to your wife's finances if you passed away? If you need this language and a lot more language, look at this. It will give you like a 2 to 3 page scenario of every which way client that you're talking to and what you could say to them to generate this conversation. And again, this is the same document I showed a little bit earlier, which shows you how to do the referral codes in Epic, okay? I'm gonna leave this up for a second. Moving on to commercial. So commercial lines, a lot of you guys are talking about them. The best people for a life insurance policy through commercial, professional services such as law firms, CPAs, consultants, medical and dental practices, financial services. A lot of them don't have enough insurance. Tech startups and construction and engineering firms, and these are some of the ones that don't work as well, but we can still sell them. I like to use this framework when you're talking to somebody in the commercial space. So you want to think about heirs, family, partners, and employees when you are talking to the boss, so to speak. And depending on what you're hearing during your rapport building, that's what these questions are going to be. So let me start out with heirs because they're pretty easy. A lot of you guys have seen the show Succession, and it's basically about a family business and all the kids are vying to gain control of that business. So that obviously sucks, because what a lot of people do in these situations is the business owner dies, the kids get the business, they sell the business, and then they split the money from the sale of the business. But a lot of people don't want their business to die after them, right? So what you can do is get a business valuation and then put a life insurance policy on yourself, the business owner. And then it's equal to the value of the business. Then when you die, you give the business to the most qualified kid, and all of the other kids get the value of the business in life insurance and split, right? So that's going to make people a lot more happy than just splitting the business and ruining that legacy. So that's really good. If you want to start out with a question when you hear something that makes your spidey senses tingle, you want to say, how is your business including in your estate plan? How will you equalize your estate with all heirs? People are thinking about that all the time. It keeps them up at night, but they don't want to do anything to solve that problem. So if you're talking to such a person, refer them over to us. We have the expertise to close that deal, and it's going to be fat cases. The average life insurance policy, like I said, is $1,200. These cases can be $80,000. So imagine making a cut of business off of 80. It's going to be amazing for you, right? There's other things that we could talk about, like key man policy is like if one person is the breadwinner for all of the company. So let's say if you're a lawyer and the top billing lawyer is the one that's bringing in 80% of the revenue, well, the owner can take out a policy of them, and if they die, it'll help cash flow the business. So a lot of cool things that you can do if you are smart enough to tell the story correctly. These are the triggers for life insurance. I could talk about this stuff all day. So if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. But just keep this in mind when you're talking to commercial lines. And yeah, I will stop there. There's almost too much for me to share with you. So I don't want to overwhelm you guys. If you have a question, reach out to my team at brokerage-sales-support@pinneyinsurance.com. Reach out to me. If you have a case, submit that case through referrals. I would say if you think that this case is going to be a huge case, come directly to me. And then this QR code, this last one, is actually for a guide that I made for managers and VPs on how to incentivize your team properly to submit life insurance leads. So it's really great. It's taken from a framework that was developed by Mike Salazar over on the California side, who's sending in a ton of submissions. And so if you're interested in that and structuring a team and getting referrals out of your team, here's our playbook. Download it. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm so excited to hear from all of you, and I hope you have a great day.